Africa is rising and business knows no borders. With Bloombank and PAPS, buying and selling across Africa is now effortless. Fast, secure, direct from your Bloombank account. One Africa, one connection, one heartbeat of opportunity, powered by Bloombank Africa. Bloombank Africa, in partnership with PAPS, connecting Africa, empowering you. Bloombank Africa, we make it happen.
Jar Oil Company stands tall as a trusted name in energy, keeping the Gambia moving with service stations across the country and a commitment to innovation and reliability. In Farafenni, Jar Group is reshaping our industrial landscape. The Jar Oil Cement Factory can produce up to 100,000 bags a day, reducing imports, creating jobs, and building a stronger Gambia brick by brick. And in the heart of the Central River region, Jar Farming Initiative is cultivating food security. With thousands of hectares under development and modern irrigation, Jar Farming is turning the Gambia's soil into abundance. Jar Group is more than a company. It is a vision of self-sufficiency, resilience, and progress. The Jar Group of companies, investing in industry, agriculture, and energy, building the Gambia's future today.
Santa Yalla.
Looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay nag doo ci yokk dara.
It's Monday, the 20th of April, 2026, and you're with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez. It's 10 minutes past 9 o'clock. Our guest is Momodou Ba One, leader of the Afro movement, joining us for a wide-ranging conversation on democracy, governance, and the challenges facing the Gambia and the wider region. Now, according to the talking points he provided, he begins with a critical assessment of democratic backsliding at home, raising concerns about press freedom, online media regulation, and incidents such as the rearrest of the Bojang siblings. From there, he turns to the growing insecurity across the country, examining its root causes and the urgent measures needed to restore public confidence. We'll also explore lessons learned from his recent benchmarking visit to Doha, insights on infrastructure, diversification, and governance efficiency, and how they shape his policy for 2026. Now, looking outward, he reflects on regional politics through the case of Ousmane Sonko in Senegal and what it signals for democratic resilience. Finally, we broaden the lens to global geopolitics, with rising tensions involving the United States, Israel, and Iran, and their economic implications for fragile states like the Gambia, before closing with forward-looking strategies for resilience, energy security, and regional cooperation in uncertain times. It's quite a lot to try to pack in 60 minutes. Modu, good to have you here.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me.
And a lot of people know you as Momodou Ba One.
One, yes.
Give us the background to the figure,
Yeah, Momodou Ba.
To your name.
Momodou Ba One is the code name given to me by IEC during our last presidential election.
Okay.
When I submitted as an aspirant to the presidency.
Okay.
So we were two Momodou Bas, so I was given number one. So throughout the Gambia, I am Momodou Ba number one.
Okay, fantastic.
With all the Momodou Bas.
With all the Momodou Bas?
Yes, I am number one.
And trust me, there are a lot of
lot.
Let's start with democracy and press freedom. How do you assess the current state of democracy in the Gambia?
Thank you, Peter. Today I speak not just as a candidate, but as a concerned citizen who believes deeply in the promise of our nation. It is strongly believed that most of our people believe that there is a backsliding in our democracy, ranging from press freedom to constitutional and institutional violations. We've seen them all recently. There is a wide belief that our democracy is regressing, and you are a witness to that.
How am I a witness to that?
Yes, government trying to regulate the media. In regulating, you have to also promote responsibility. Regulation and responsibility go together. It's like it is the duty of every government to regulate the media.
Yeah. But government's argument is there are gaps. Peter Gomez is registered, he operates here, so he is regulated, whereas Rohi Online Media is not registered, it's operating here, it's going after the same adverts that I am going after, and getting the revenue, but they are not regulated because they are not registered. That's government's explanation.
Yeah, that's why I say regulation and responsibility go hand in hand. You have to protect freedom and promote. You have to protect freedom and then promote regulation and responsibility and promote responsibility. So freedom, you have to protect it. It is the job of the government, to promote both press freedom and then responsibility. What I mean by responsibility, you have to engage the stakeholders, because we all know that you cannot just do anything that you want. There must be regulations, but regulation must not be suppression. So this is what most of the media people, like the media space, is feeling, that they are being suppressed. Okay. Instead of guiding them, they are suppressing them.
There's no doubt about that. That's the GPU's standpoint. But what is Momodou Ba's standpoint?
Yeah,
Momodou Ba is aspiring to become president of this country. Yeah. All right. If that law were to be passed before you become president, you will have to, maybe go to parliament now to undo it. So what's your position on that now? Would you want to inherit that kind of regulation or policy or whatever, the government is describing it as right now?
It's not properly done. You have to involve all the stakeholders. There is the press union. There is also this media council. There are...
The government says the media council is as good as dead, inactive.
Who makes it active? It's supposed to be the government who should engage them. Like you have in every sector, you have councils. Council of lawyers, council of doctors, etc. So it is the role of the government. That is the government shouldn't even say that.
If you became president and found the media difficult to deal with because it is quote unquote unregulated, how would you go about regulation?
Good point. I will engage them through dialogue. Okay, bring parliamentarians, bring members of the press, government, stakeholders, discuss with them. It's just like, as a teacher, sometimes...
Which you are.
Yeah, yes, which I am. Okay. So...
in Senegal?
Yes, indeed. So in order to prepare your students, in the punishments and other stuff that they would be facing, right at the beginning of the class, the first class of the year, you ask them, what are the things that you think shouldn't be done in class, and what are the punishments you think should be given.
Okay, that's how
It is.
That's how you go about it.
Exactly. So it is the students themselves who would propose to you. We shouldn't come late. We shouldn't write while you are explaining. We shouldn't do this, that, etc. So, and then you write all those things that they've said. So in the end, it is because they've accepted that this is not correct. This is not done. So whenever, during the in classes, whenever they commit any of those acts, you would remind them that, okay, this was law number 1, law number 2, law number 3.
And we all agreed that
this
was not to be, and if this happens, this is the punishment, this is the consequence.
Peter, I will use the same method with the press, with the stakeholders, with the activists, with everybody, who is a stakeholder in media, to discuss with them, and bring solutions.
The crisis is deepening because the GPU, to its credit, has succeeded in putting in place a very effective media boycott of Ministry of Information events and Pura events. And the threat, I understand, is to escalate, even to the point of completely, blocking out events that are official. Now, no government want a media that completely shuns it. Even though the Minister of Information has sat where you are now sat and said that if the media boycotts, or if the GPU boycotts government will boycott the media.
Peter, that's deplorable. It is not up to the Minister of Information to say that they are going to boycott. You cannot boycott. You are the government.
Yeah, but the GPU is boycotting.
Yeah. But he's encouraging them to boycott. He said that if they boycott, let them boycott. That's their problem. He said this. So you just don't have to bring a tug of war between you and your people that you share the same.
Can you imagine a situation where a government faces a total blackout from the media? How would that affect the government?
Yeah, so already it shouldn't affect them because they are paying some media to do their publicity. They are doing that.
Well, we are not part of those media houses. I can assure you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but others are.
So you're saying, in effect, you can't see a situation where there would be a complete boycott of the government.
They are spending taxpayers' money to do their publicity.
Okay, let's move on. When we had the verdict on the Bojang siblings case, the aftermath was very noisy. After Usainu was released and re-arrested, we had demonstrations in Brufut. Commentators were, writing rows and rows, columns and columns, of commentary about how it was wrong, to deny them their freedom. As a potential presidential candidate, I emphasize potential because you haven't deposited your papers yet. We haven't got to that point yet. But you are aspiring to run, hopefully run in 2026. I say hopefully run because in 2021 you aspired and ended up not running. In fact, backing Barrow. And a lot of people are saying a similar scenario, could be repeated in 2026. So, how did you react to the Bojang case, the aftermath of the verdict?
Peter, it was totally unacceptable for the government, to do such. After court decisions, releasing the Bojang siblings, that you order their rearrest. And until now, no one can tell you who ordered that arrest. Who ordered their rearrest?
So what are you hearing?
Who is leading the country? Who is deciding? who is giving orders in this country.
This
is a serious problem.
What are you hearing?
No, I don't know. I really don't know. And nobody knows. Nobody can tell you.
You're supposed to have intel.
Yes, because no, I don't have that that intel. I don't have that intel. But I can only analyze based on what we see, based on the environment. But according to the Minister of Justice, he denounced it. He said that it was inappropriate for for the court for orders to be given to rearrest those who were released.
He was only responding to a question. It's not like after it happened he came out voluntarily and denounced it.
Yes, so but at least he acknowledged that.
Maybe
so acknowledging it.
If the question was never asked in public, maybe we would never have known, what his position was.
But at least we must commend him for acknowledging the truth. So at least we must commend him for acknowledging the truth. But it raises doubts, about who gives decisions in this country, and which is serious institutional crisis. Because normally it's supposed to be the president. So, but what happens?
The president wouldn't order anybody to get arrested.
Yeah, but behind the scene, we never know. You never know what happened. It could be the police, it could be the president, it could be someone else. We don't know, Peter. We really don't know. So, but it raises questions about the state of our democracy right now. As I said before, our democracy is regressing due to these facts. Not respecting constitutional orders, not respecting the constitution. We've seen previously with the Auditor General, who was removed forcefully, without respecting the Constitution. We've seen that, and now also we've seen on the Barrow that the court gives order, to release prisoners, and then someone somewhere in this country give orders for their rearrest. I think that is not good for our democracy. But also, what we must also consider in this fact is that, Peter, who kills the police? Who killed the cops? It is a common ask in this country. Who killed the cops? Still now, people have no answer, and I'm still asking. I'm turning to be an advocate in this matter.
If the only suspect so far has been set free by the court, of course the question remains: who killed the cop?
So it means we are no longer safe in this country. If someone can shoot our police like that, and then go at large without being able to.
Yeah, but since then there hasn't been identify. Since then there hasn't been another shooting. It's not like the Gambia has become so dangerous. It's over 2 years, isn't it?
But that has never happened in this country.
Yes, that's true.
Unless maybe.
That's true. But I'm also saying that it's happened once, and so far it's been the only one time it has happened. Since it happened, we haven't heard of anybody being shot and killed in this country again.
Under President Barrow, when it happened with Mustafa Danso. He was arrested.
You mean President Jawara?
Yeah, under President Jawara.
Yeah, not Barrow.
A police officer was shot. According to President Jawara's testament, according to his autobiography, he said, a police officer was shot, and then he was arrested. The one who did it was arrested, and then, judged. In fact, that was the first. Capital sentence that happened in this country. After later on, we saw that Jammeh also with the 9 mile to 9, people were executed.
Well, we don't know what the verdict could have been.
Yeah.
Had Usainu been convicted. We are back to asking the question: who killed the cops? Because Usainu was freed by the court.
Yes, he was.
If the court had found him guilty and passed sentence, we would not be asking the question now.
We have to learn from the example that I always give is Senegal, because I know Senegal very well. I know what's happening there. So we don't need to go beyond this region.
What happened in Senegal?
To find answers. Like in Senegal, a crime can happen at a particular place, and then the intelligence would able to determine the people who were present at that particular time during that crime, and they will able to, they will able to catch the culprit or the suspects, at least. So hardly a murder case, a criminal case happens without identifying the
perpetrators.
The perpetrators. So I think that is good. That is something that we should learn from Senegal, and they are not far from here.
Okay. Let me ask your general view on the state of security in this country, because you started out by questioning the safety of every Gambian. If after 2 years we still cannot find who the killers of the cops were.
Yeah, insecurity, Peter. Insecurity is rising in the Gambia. Families are no longer feeling safe. Business owners are worried because their agents are constantly being attacked and killed. I can give you examples. You remember Fatoumata Kagbo at Westfield? That's around 2022-23. So recently also we've heard of some time back, or 3 to 4 months back, in Brufut with Aissatou Fati, who is in fact the namesake of my mother. In Brufut, turntable, may their soul rest in perfect peace. So, and these people, no culprit, no justice. Even yesterday, I saw it on social media that one of the banks in this country, they vandalized their ATM machine. It's on social media right now. And previously, we've had some attacks on banks. So there is no measures are put in place to curb insecurity.
I thought the police had gone into an arrangement with the banks to have 24-hour security around banks. Yeah, that's in place.
Yeah,
unless maybe
they are putting the burden on. They are putting the burden on. Maybe banks could afford that, but at least forex bureaus.
Are you talking about forex bureaus?
Yeah, they are the most vulnerable ones. Banks could afford to hire private security.
So if you're saying that Gambians feel unsafe, what measures need to be put in place to win public confidence back in our security setup?
Yes, we have to invest in community policing. Here, a crime could take place, and then you don't even have people who rescue you. You don't have the police who rescue you instantly. As we speak, if you dial the police hotline, like free call to announce or to inform them about a particular crime, you won't have them. So that's the basic.
You mean if you call the police toll-free number?
Toll-free number.
Nobody would answer?
Nobody would answer.
Oh, is that so?
So that's already a problem.
Do you even know the number to police emergency?
They don't even give it a right. They said the other time, I
attended.
No, the other time I attended. I attended the. No, I attended.
You have to begin by knowing a number you call.
No, I attended a program where the community of like the returnees, the returnees, the Americans, or the black people, who were in the country. When the PRO said, when those people launched that complaint, and the PRO confirmed that, yes, it's true. Their numbers are not working. So it's not necessary to know when numbers are not
The police
working.
bureau
admitted in front
the
of me.
toll-free numbers were not working.
Were not working. And then he's giving out his number for in case if there is problem.
Okay.
So in case, imagine how many problems will happen in the country, at the same time, and then he alone would be as the PRO would respond to those calls. So it's undone.
Your advice would be for the police to get the toll-free number working.
No, that is the basic.
And really publicize it so that
people
like Momodou Ba
I know it.
An aspiring president
You know
will
it.
the number.
You know it. Someone else know it.
Okay.
So that's just the basic. But invest in community policing. Give them the materials that they need. They need patrol vehicles. They need incentives. They need to go around. You don't only have to wait until there is crime, and then you go there. But they have to be seeing you. We have gangs, we have VOOs, we have places.
It's very easy to sit here and say give them patrol vehicles. Where will that money come from?
Where would that money come from apart from our budget? If they are incompetent and incapable of providing that, let them tell us. It is up to the government to provide that. Not you, not me.
Yeah, but every time government comes and says, well, the budget for this year is so many billions of dollars, we all complain.
It's because security is not their concern. But security is very important, whereby those are the basic things that they need. They need patrol.
How high?
They need materials.
How high on your agenda is security?
Very top.
At the very top?
At the very top. Because security is everything.
Above agriculture?
No, agriculture is part of it. Let me tell you something that is very important. And is even mentioned in the Quran.
In the Quran?
Yes.
Oh.
لإلاف قريش إلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. So this is the Quraysh model. The Quraysh model, is the.
Let's translate what you just recited from the what you just quoted from the Quran.
Yes. رحلة الشتاء والصيف. That was the travel journey between what the Arabs used to do between recently Syria and Yemen, during dry season and rainy season, between the two seasons. So it means it's very important. Business is very important as far as survival is necessary. For politically, business is important, but also. What I'm doing, make sure that you give them, when they are fearful, you avoid them being fearful, and then
fearful as in afraid.
Yeah, afraid.
Okay.
Solve fearfulness, and then provide food if they are hungry. So they are in that.
Okay.
In that chapter, it talks about business. It talks about business.
So ensure security. Before asking farmers to go out on their farms.
No, it's very important.
Okay.
Security. Be fearful. It means be fearful for your security, for everything, and to solve hunger. Through agriculture. So agriculture is important. Security also is important. To pray to God also is important. In many other countries, they regard religion as very important. Unfortunately, here, like when I talk about religion, some people won't accept it, won't appreciate it, because they will say, religion this and that. And if you die, we want people to pray for us.
Are you suggesting that we don't embrace religion?
Some people.
I thought sometimes we
neglect it. We neglect it.
Do we neglect it? Or sometimes we are overly religious in every approach.
This is the problem. We should not part of overly approach, but at least religion also is here to solve many things. Peter, I attended St. Peter's Junior School. So I learned Christian religion education there, and I was taught about the 10 Commandments of Moses. If you talk about
10 Commandments of God. In the Bible, there's no 10 Commandments of Moses.
Given to Moses.
It's 10
the
commandments of God.
Yes, given to Moses.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's no 10 Commandments of Moses.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for that rectification. So the 10 Commandment that was given to Moses. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal, etc., etc.
Do not kill.
Do not kill.
That's important.
Do not kill. So if all these things, are being taught to our kids at school, this will help, to prepare them for the future. This will help to have a very good, to have a very good citizen who would not steal. You see the corruption that is going on in our workplaces. If you go to the Quran, the same 10 Commandments, are there in the Quran in a different way. So do good to your parents, and other stuff. So these are things that we neglect, which are very important, that we should even adopt within our educational system. And this is why, if you go to many prosperous countries, in their motto, you will see their God first. America, what is their motto? In God we trust. England, what is their motto? God my right. They put God first. And most of these Arabic countries, they have the same thing. Like in Qatar, Arais Al-Watani.
So if you were to put God in a coat of arms, how would you phrase it?
God, peace, progress, prosperity. You just add God before peace and prosperity. It's very important because it shows your mindset. It shows, how, you are. Because this is a fleeting
world.
Don't
you feel that we are a very religious society?
No, we are not. We are definitely not.
Really?
By name, yes. But in practice, we are not. And this is this should be the job of every government to inspire this, through our educational system.
Okay.
Not imposing religion to the people, but at least like trying to, take the good of it. Religion is a way of life. Religion is a way of life. So
if you were to become president of this country, should we expect that, you will take steps to make this happen?
Yeah, yes, definitely. I will take steps to make this happen because, we need to train our people. We need to train our people in doing good. So religion and, worldly affairs are complementary. Religion just comes to prepare human beings, to be a good person. And this is what every government needs.
All right.